pride is kind of my weapon, I would say, my second weapon. Hello, my name is Amrou Al-Kadhi, or Glamrou. Now, my first pride experience was when I was about 14, and adolescence was not going very well for me. My nose developed before the rest of me, so I was basically just a giant nose with arms and legs attached, and home was very difficult because my parents were just doing everything in their power to stop me expressing who I was, and I felt really alone, and there was no social media, so it was just like, you really felt like you're just going through it alone. And I went into central London to just hang out with a friend, and before they arrived, the Pride Parade was happening, and it was an extraordinary feeling seeing hundreds and thousands of people, just queer people, just taking up space, just proudly declaring who they were in public, and people celebrating that. And it gave me something to hope for, because back then I felt terrified at home. I thought me coming out would lead to all kinds of negative things, and the idea of one day getting to that place of just being on the street proudly for who I am was something that I held on to for a very long time. Now, my most cherished Pride experience was, it was in 2018 at Black Pride. Thank you, Lady Phil, for everything you do for our community. And I was there, I was very drunk, and was still quite drunk from the day before. And I heard this Arabic song playing, like in the corner, and I was like, in the corner of the lawn, I was like, this is strange, because it was only a song I'd ever heard back in the Middle East, and definitely not within queer spaces. It was a song that I used to love from my childhood, but I'd always heard it in very kind of straight, often stoic environments, and I would never be able to dance to it like I would want to dance and want to express myself. And it was just playing, and I just thought, this can't be right, how drunk am I? So I went to check it out, and there in front of me was this tent called Pride of Arabia, which was this collective for queer Arabs, and I was listening to a song from my childhood, but I was able to dance to it as a queer adult, and it was like my past, present and future all just kind of melded together in a singular moment, and it was so cohesive, and I felt so healed that I was able to blend my heritage with my queer identity. And such a powerful moment for me. It was actually the final moment of my book as well, so thank you, Lady Phil. Now, what does pride mean to me? Well, I think for me, it's not about the parade, it's not even about the month. For me, as queer people, especially queer people of colour, we're taught so much to make ourselves small and to feel ashamed for who we are. I mean, I definitely had that my entire life growing up, constantly making myself small to accommodate the rest of the world, and feeling intrinsically that I was at flaw, and feeling just ashamed just for my desires and what I was thinking. And so for me, I tried to live my life being proud of all the things that the world taught me to be ashamed for, proud of my femininity, of my colour, of my non-binary identity, of my otherness, rather than ashamed of it. And I feel a great sense of power and armour and just strength being defiantly myself. So pride is kind of my weapon, I would say, my second weapon. What advice would I give young child Amrou before the whole coming out malarkey and realizing they were gay? I would say the advice I would give to little Amrou is, it's not your fault. I think back then, even from the age of like 7 or 8, I just thought, God, this is my fault. I'm a sinner. There's something wrong with me, and I'm upsetting my parents, and the whole world is my fault. And you really do internalize it as a child, because you don't have the emotional maturity or clarity really to understand that there's nothing wrong with you. And as a result, even till this day, I feel guilty about every little thing, from angering a friend, or was that text a little bit cold, or just constantly blaming myself. So for me, yeah, I would go up to little Amrou and say, this is not your fault, you are iconic. The last time that I felt lifted up by the queer community, I mean, literally all the time. Like, I don't really have a sort of family that I feel safe in, but for me, I do just have a queer family. And, you know, I have my own drag family, but also, you know, there are queer people all over the world that maybe I haven't met in real life, but we always message each other saying, you know, I love you, I see you, and constantly caring for each other, especially trans people of color. You know, I think the media likes to vilify us as monsters, but if only everyone could see what a deeply caring and empathetic community we are. Despite all the stuff that we get sort of subjected to by the media, really the community is just a place where we constantly lift each other up. You know, there is deep love there, even for people we don't know, or people who came before us or after us. There's a kind of kinship that I feel so privileged to be a part of. It's a kind of spirituality for me. Thank you very much. Happy Pride, and remember, pride is a protest.